This is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle for the Xbox Series system, developed by Machine Games and published by Bethesda, released back in December of 2024. This is a first and sometimes third-person adventure game based on the famous Indiana Jones franchise, and it's one of the few games that I've purchased in the past year before it actually went on sale. That's right, I paid full price for a new game, and, well, it was worth it. When I popped the disc in, though, I was instantly frustrated to see how long it was going to actually take before I could play. I finished work and I was like, oh, I'm going to pop in this game. And then it was, no, you have to wait hours to download and update the game. It was pretty bad. It was really bad. Hours. I think it was 2 or 3 hours. It was ridiculous. I really miss the days where I could just put in a game that I purchased, I gave good money for, and just play the game. I know this is a common thing with newer games. I do. I know that's how it is with many games, but really, you should have longer development times to make sure your game is ready to play. That's what I think. We've probably given the industry too much credit to do this stuff. It's unfortunate. It's a relatively popular game, I think, and it should be. This is a solid adventure. It's definitely not an open world experience. It's more of a plotted step-by-step adventure. You're going to go through different areas one at a time, and the story is going to evolve as you go from place to place. Now, I'm a reasonable fan of Indiana Jones, even with the misses that this property has had along the way, and there have been plenty of misses. I've played a variety of Indiana Jones games on different systems, and I'm actually a little surprised it took so long to get a modern game like this out to the masses.
A sarcophagus.
I've certainly had a few favorites over the years. This one definitely ranks among them. I like this one. I really do. This is a setting that I enjoy. There's plenty going on here to keep me interested. Coming out of the gates, it's pretty solid. But I do also have to say that my initial reaction when I finally got into the game, I mean, the loading part was frustrating, but when I finally got into the game, the first 10 minutes of this game was actually a negative experience for me, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion, I'm sure. The one thing that I'm not a fan of is how they opened this story. This is my main complaint, and I'm going to get it out of the way now. You start the game by playing the opening scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is the exact scene of Indiana Jones sneaking into a temple, avoiding traps, and escaping in front of a giant rolling boulder. It is told in flashback after you get through it, but that doesn't matter to me. The frustration I have here is that this is how they started this AAA game. They started it rehashing a scene that every Indiana Jones fan has seen 50 times over. Plus, all the different parodies that have occurred in the last, 40, 50 years? Using this as an opening scene, a huge letdown to me. I know this exact scene. There is no need to show it to me again. I've seen it crazy amounts of times. It suggests to me that you have very little new to offer in this universe, so you have to start with something that is known as opposed to unique. This was a huge lost opportunity for me. You've kept people waiting so long for a game like this, and then you give them something they've already seen before. I am not a fan. But this is the intro scene, and luckily it doesn't last that long. And then you actually get to start playing the game and you're at your college. This is the start of the plot, and it's what I would expect from an Indiana Jones adventure. In this case, your college museum is broken into by some oversized guy. He's like 8 feet tall, and he's looking for an artifact. Of course, based on what he stole, you have a story to unfold, because now you're curious. You get a series of archaeological sites across the world, and it turns out they are aligned in a perfect ring across the planet. And through your research, the various artifacts, there is apparently some sort of a mystical power that can be harnessed. Okay, it's a fair enough idea. So you're in pursuit of artifacts and answers. The Reich is also there, and they're searching for power. And then, of course, there's also a third party, which is this ancient order that's just trying to protect whatever this secret is. These are the three main sort of players of the game, I guess, and it fits together and it works just fine. You're going to adventure through many different environments, and you're going to try to gather all the pieces of the puzzle here. And we're talking some serious differences in locale. They cover a lot of ground here, And I don't think you'll be upset at any lack of variety. You're in a swamp, you're in Egypt, you're in the Himalayas, you're in a college, you're in crypts. Yeah, there are plenty of environments to go through here. As far as gameplay goes, it's going to occur in primarily the first-person view, and you can play in a more attack, kind of head-on style, or you can be more stealthy to get through the different levels. But truthfully, stealth seems to be a better way to get through things. There are times I'd certainly pick up a gun and start blasting, but shooting seems to be something that gets you more shooting. And you don't have a lot of ammunition, and many of the guns are only temporary. So, to me, at least, stealth feels like the good way to do this. And in a way, it kind of feels a little bit like some of the Far Cry games. Maybe not as in-depth, but definitely when I was playing this, I got that feeling. You do have an upgrade tree like most good games do, but it's also orchestrated in a way where you have to do a few things to actually get a skill. You have to either find books that give you access to the skill, or you have to buy books. Once you find or buy them, you still have to spend points to actually go through that upgrade, so it's never a quick and easy step. You don't just find a book and it's yours. If you want to upgrade, and you're going to want to upgrade, you're going to not only have to find them, but be able to afford them. And to get the currency to afford them, you're going to have to do all these little side missions to get all the extra points to spend. I think it's a reasonable way to try to make you want to explore every little area on a map. Works for me. I think it handles just like you'd hope a AAA game would handle. It's solid. No complaints. The guns are fine, but they're not amazing. This isn't a Call of Duty game that's supposed to hinge on impressive gun mechanics, but it does enough. I think if you're looking for a shooter, I wouldn't call this one. I also use my fists mostly, and also random objects more than guns. Now, while I'm talking about fighting, the truth is this is actually kind of a violent game, but it's built in a way to not feel violent, and I'm confused about that. I'm not sure how I feel. You're going to shoot, you're going to punch, and you're going to smash people unconscious with objects during your adventure. Many, many people. Now, in real life, when you knock someone out with your fists, logic tells me there's a reasonable chance that you haven't killed that person. A concussion, maybe. But they're probably not dead. When you shoot somebody, or you smash them in the head with a frying pan, now there's a reasonable chance you've killed somebody, or severely damaged them for life. Just because the game doesn't show you horrible gore or blood, doesn't mean you haven't stopped someone from breathing. It kind of struck me interesting early on. I'm not sure why my brain went there. In my adventure with this game so far, I'm about halfway through, I think. I've probably killed more people than all of the Indiana Jones movies combined. I'm not complaining about it, it's just interesting. You're going to have to do what you do with most games. You're going to have to balance your health and your energy, and you're constantly looking for food and bandages to keep you in top shape, so it wants you to scour to find the loot, I suppose. And it keeps you busy. I mean, there's plenty to do between the main missions, the side missions, and all the upgrade paths you're going to want to pursue. I'm at least 20 hours into this one so far, and I don't see an end to the story. I imagine I'm about halfway, but I'm not sure. Online sources suggest this game is between 15 and 40 hours. I imagine 15 hours would be just the main story, and the way I play this, I couldn't see rushing through this game that fast. There's so much to explore and see, I would just hate to miss things. The music is great, sound is fine, and graphics look awesome. The voice of Indiana Jones pretty much sounds like Harrison Ford. They got a really good voice actor. And the models that they're using for the character, they're spot on. I really like the level of detail they have here, and it wouldn't have the same feeling, I think, if the models or the voice were different. I guess in one or two spots also, I did have some graphics that clipped, but I thought that was kind of minor, and I honestly imagine most people won't be looking at the floor of a boat when I pass a certain pier in the swamp. I don't know. Maybe it's just something I got lucky to run into. I think this is a fun experience, and I'm really enjoying this more than I've enjoyed some of the last movies that I've seen. I love the 1940 aesthetics, anywhere from the costumes to the little details you find in the tents and the rooms. It seems that the developers were really paying attention to their world building, and it worked out for them. This game is available on Xbox, PlayStation, and Windows platforms, and if you're looking for a modern adventure game, this would be a solid pick. It's really great. Well, that's all I have today for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle for the Xbox series. Thank you for stopping by for a look, and I hope to catch you on another video.